time I make a video, I just look drastically different in it because I think it's just because my hair gets longer. Like if you look back some of my super early videos, especially from like high school, even though I don't know why I actually made those, I have like super short hair. Anyway, we're doing article aftermath number 14, talking about some Golem swap Mermails. This deck was actually one of my favorite decks that I've ever made, simply because Acid Golem is my favorite Exceed monster of all time. So any way that you could put Acid Golem on your opponent's side of the field would be great. I'll explain why Acid Golem is my favorite. At the 2011 Nationals, I think, 2012 Nationals, there we go, like round 3 or something, my opponent and I were 2-0, and we were playing the... He was playing Chaos Dragons, and I was playing a Chaos deck, just because I didn't have really good cards back then. He had a Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon in attack mode and a Light Pulsar, and I had all I had left was a Tour Guide, and the only monster that was left in my extra deck really was Acid Golem, and my opponent was at 200 life points. But it took me like I had to do the math on 3,000 minus 2,800 about 9 times, like literally write it out. Be like, this is impossible. This is actually going to come down to this part of the game. So that's why I liked it so much. But I also like it how you can screw over your opponent. I did play for a while a rabbit variant of this deck where you played Gogag, Gigi Gigo, Gogi, Googie, Googie, and some Caboozles, because you could either make Acid Gold, or sorry, not, you could make the Lagia and Dolka, or you could make Bahamut Shark and then use Creature Swap or Mystic Box to give your Acid Golem you made via Creature Swap over to your opponent. I mean, both Caboozles and Gogi both make Bahamut, but unfortunately only one of those made, what's it called? Lagia or Dolka. You also played Hydrogeddons in there, and then you played Lances and stuff, so I'm not going to say the deck functioned really well, but it was a cool way to do it. Looking back at this, it's such... As easy it is to summon Bahamut Shark in this deck, it's almost like counterintuitive to put an Acid Golem on your opponent's side of the field, because that's just not what Mermails really do. I mean, I did outline how an Acid Golem can be game, but it's not an instant win by any means possible, because even in the Firefist deck, there are a lot of outs. I mean, a 1 tribute monster, and so I can't even think of, like, against something like Cyber Dragons, they could just tribute Acid Golem away for a Cyber Dragon. In spellbooks, they could Book of Moon it face down with Fate. There's a variety of ways that you could get over it, but it is kind of nice, especially late game. I'd probably end up taking out 1 Mystic Box, just because that wasn't... Creature Swap is really useful, because it gives your opponent Lindy's and Traits on your opponent's side of the field. But Mystic Box is effectively that, but you just, instead of getting a monster, you just destroy a monster on the field. And I'd normally rather just take one of my opponent's monsters, though spot removal is pretty good. I think Creature Swap is better. Let's look down some of the comments. Favorite comment was someone was saying this strategy would be strictly better if you replace 3 Creature Swaps and 3 Mystic Box with good cards. And, well, if you looked at the title of the article, where it's called Golem Swap Mermails, it's kind of hard to do some Golem swapping when you don't have Creature Swaps or Mystic Boxes. I wouldn't necessarily call myself an expert on the game, but at the very least, I can understand that, that strategy kind of needs cards to put monsters on your opponent's side of the field. But, yeah, I didn't mean to... If I wrote there should be 2 Pikes in 1 turn, I really just meant that you should have another Sturge or Turge instead to recycle your Gundy. And so instead of getting a Marksman from your deck, you'll end up just getting a Marksman or Gundy back from your graveyard. It really honestly doesn't make that much of a difference. So, anything else? I was very confused when someone... he doesn't like anything tier except for Lightsworn. This isn't a personal attack. Ooh. Sorry, I got a text. This isn't a personal attack or anything, but Lightsworns aren't... there's no such thing as a tier system, and I think you're trying to say that, like, it's meta, but Lightsworns aren't meta. They aren't really the best deck. They aren't... no, I don't know what you mean by that, so... Anything cool? Thanks, Doug, for pointing out that freaking Amoeba can be recruited with Where Art Thou? No one... Whatever. Jerk. But any changes I'd make to this deck, I said I'd probably take out a Mystic Box, but you kind of can't really take out anything else, because a lot of it's really integral to the Mermail part. If you want to take out a Megalo, that's fine. If you don't care about anything, you could take out a Dragoons, but that's point. Why would there's no point in taking out, even though it only searches a Megalo and uh, what's the card called? Marksman. Dragoons is still good enough as a card. It's really fun to normal summon Dragoons and special summon Aqua Spirit, and then make Bahamut Chart and detach. Yeah, it's a great time. You should try it sometime. I really like this deck, but I probably won't really ever use it again, just because I don't know if Mermails are going to get hit on the ban list, or sorry, the Forbidden and Limited, the TCG Forbidden and Limited list. But if they do, the cards that are would likely to get hit would be, not saying all of these, but the only cards that could get hit would be Pike, Lindy, Sphere, and Tias. Probably Tias would be hit before anything else, and then I suppose Sphere, or maybe Lindy. I mean, Pike probably won't get hit because it's like, obviously that's a really good card that's very central to your strategy, but it kind of seems like a little too much to take away Pike. So we will see what happens in a couple months. But yeah, thank you for watching this. I'm sorry there's not too many changes to make to this deck because it is pretty standard. But have fun. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna make a article aftermath for the tournament report. I could just talk about anything here. Tournament was fun. I mean, top 8 in school, but I don't really need to reiterate anything. No, sorry, that's just everything is pretty inclusive in the tournament report. So thanks for watching. Bye.